Oh, the game's gone, innit? The game's gone.
The game's gone.
The game's gone.
The game's gone.
Game's gone.
Where is it?
Where is it? Where's it?
It's gone. Game's gone.
Game's gone.
It was in our hands, but then it disappeared.
The game's gone. So
Just trying to figure out where.
the game's gone.
The
game's gone.
Happened, it's gone.
And the game's gone. Where has it gone?
Game is gone. Game is absolutely gone.
But where? Where though? Where's it gone?
Where's it gone, Merce?
So today we're going to look at the best 11 that Tuchel left behind and see how they compare against the best starting 11 that we've had in the World Cup. Okay, so let's start with the first position, goalkeeper. Now, we're not really blessed in the goalkeeper area per se, but there is a few that missed out that have been there before. So I'm looking now. We got options. Aaron Ramsdale was good at Arsenal, made a few England appearances, but hasn't been part of the team for a long time. So Nick Pope, another one, Newcastle keeper, again close, but didn't quite make the team. I would say they are the best two that didn't make the team. My pick out of the two, I'd go with Nick Pope if it was for my team. So the first player on our list of England players that didn't make the World Cup squad is our goalkeeper, Nick Pope.
Anyway, baby, just name the time. When I'ma come through, can you get me cruising on the moonlight? Top down, playing no sound.
So now we move to the left back position, and there's a few good options at left back, but there's one glaring miss and a guy I thought should have made the team. Lewis Hall, Newcastle United, had a great season, but he didn't make the team. But there is other options. Luke Shaw played for England a whole bunch of times, good player, didn't make the squad. Ben Chilwell, not so sure. Rico Henry, they're probably the top list of players. But for me, my pick would be Lewis Hall as our left back who didn't make the England squad. If you disagree with anything I'm saying, please write it in the comments.
Racing my own thoughts into the silence, seeking the guide.
So we'll move on to our centre backs before we go to our right back. Okay, so there's one again who I don't know if I'd have picked him or not. Harry Maguire is the obvious one. Played for England, I don't know how many times, a lot of times. Levi Colwill, another one. Just coming back from injury so that might be a part of the reason Tuchel didn't take him. Trevor Chalobah was left out, but he got called up due to injury anyway, so we won't count him. Tomori, another player who's been in Tuchel's squads but didn't make the final cut. So Tomori's another good player. For me, my two centre backs would be Harry Maguire, definitely, and I think I would have Levi Colwill if I was going to pick a second. So there you go for our centre backs. Next up, the right back.
Gone away. I'm gone away. And the sun gonna shine on a brand new day. Must be somewhere.
For the right back, I'm not even going to give the list of options because Trent Alexander-Arnold is obviously the player that should have made the squad. didn't make the squad, is better right back than anyone we've got in the squad, but he still didn't make it. So with 100% certainty, the right back that will go in this team is Trent Alexander-Arnold. And he's one of them that could make this team look better than the actual team. There's a few others that will be scattered around in the midfield for sure. But Trent Alexander-Arnold should definitely have made this team. So on the left of midfield, the left wing position, there's a couple of options. You could have had Jack Grealish, but I wouldn't have picked Jack Grealish. You could have had Harvey Barnes, who's definitely had a better season than Jack Grealish. But in terms of talent, and I know it's not his natural position, Phil Foden. It's got to be Phil Foden. The other two good players, definitely England quality. But Phil Foden's just way ahead. Had a bad season last year, didn't play much for City. But yeah, Phil Foden, left wing for sure.
Coming back to me, my heart is hung up on what used to be.
On the right wing, I don't really like the guy. I think he's massively overrated. But out of the options given, I think it's going to be Jarrod Bowen. You could potentially put Cole Palmer on the right, but it's not his natural position. So we're going to go with Jarrod Bowen. Again, got relegated with West Ham. I think he's heavily overrated. Probably going to move this season. I can't see him playing in the Championship with West Ham. But yeah, Jarrod Bowen on the right wing. Next, we're moving on to the central midfield role and the holding midfielder position. And there's some good players in contention for this one. James Garner, Everton player, got a few appearances for England. Looked like Tuchel might take him, but in the end, he didn't make the squad. But a good player. Curtis Jones, Liverpool, he's more of a box-to-box midfielder. Didn't get a whole lot of minutes at Liverpool this season, but good player. Could definitely have been in the team. Alex Scott, Bournemouth, he was one that I think was very close to making the squad and just missed out. Miles Lewis-Skelly for Arsenal, again lost his place a little bit sort of mid-season, came back at the end, but good player. Again, I wouldn't have been shocked, I wouldn't have been disappointed if he'd made the team. But the one who I think should have made it and didn't make it is Crystal Palace, Adam Wharton. Watching him play, man, he's a hell of a player. Real good creative player, strong, box to box. A lot about him, really good player. So my selection for the holding midfielder, where you see Declan and Anderson playing at the moment, would have been Adam Wharton for sure.
Yeah.
So now we're looking into the other two central midfielders, and I know in this tournament Tuchel's gone for like more or less two holding players. With Anderson is more of a box to box, Declan Rice is the holder, and Bellingham's the attacking player. But due to the options we got, and I'm trying to pick the best team that could actually compete with the best 11 that he's already taken. Cole Palmer, on his days, one of the best in the league. I'm not a Chelsea fan, by the way. On his days, one of the best in the league. He's a really good player, strong player, creative player. Definitely be Cole Palmer. The other one is a guy who I would have taken. He's had a great season for Nottingham Forest. I think he was the Englishman with the most assists in the Prem last season. Morgan Gibbs-White. I would have taken him for sure. I don't know where I'd have fitted him in because we are stacked in that position. And truth be told, no one's really taking that spot off Bellingham and Rice. Anderson, maybe someone's stepping in for Anderson, but those two are more or less set in stone that they're going to play. But yeah, Morgan Gibbs-White, Cole Palmer. That's a strong team so far. Can it compete with what we got? Who knows? One position left. We're going to go with a striker. So the striker position, again, there is a few options. Callum Wilson, I don't think he's better than the three we took. We took Tony, Watkins and Kane. Decent player, average Premier League player. Don't think he's good enough. Eddie Nketiah, another guy, played a few times, I think, for England. No, not good enough, man. Just not good enough. Not strong enough to break into that three anyway, and not strong enough for our team. Dominic Calvert-Lewin had a good season, very injury prone, but he had a good season with Leeds. Massive point in keeping them up this year. Calvert-Lewin could be an option. Dominic Solanke on his day, again, good player, but always injured. I don't know about Solanke. Had he not had the injuries, maybe he would have been there instead of Tony. I don't know. Danny Welbeck. Danny Welbeck was the highest scoring Englishman in the Premier League last year. He's a little bit older than the rest of them, and his England days, you would think, are firmly behind him. But there was calls for him to be called up to the squad. I was hearing a lot about Danny Welbeck possibly getting an England call up. Out of those players, for me, the one who's going to give you the most in a game is probably Calvert-Lewin. He's just got more to his game. I think he makes assists, he makes good runs, he's strong, he holds the ball up, and he can finish. And if you need a goal, he's a good penalty taker. He's very close on this one between Solanke, Welbeck, and Calvert-Lewin, I'll be real. But if it was me and I had to pick one, I'm going to go with Calvert-Lewin. So there you have it. Here's our England 11 that didn't make the World Cup squad. So now what we're going to do, we're going to compare that to the current team. I'm going to give you my opinion on who would win the game. We're going to have a little scoring system on who would win the game. But I need you to tell me in the comments whether I'm just talking nonsense or if you believe that this team potentially could have beat the team we took. So let's just run through our team. So we got in goal, Nick Pope. At right back, Alexander-Arnold. Our two centre-backs will be Levi Colwill and Harry Maguire. Left back, Lewis Hall. Holding midfielder, Adam Wharton. On the right wing, Jarrod Bowen. On the left wing, Phil Foden. And the two central midfield attacking midfielders, Morgan Gibbs-White and Cole Palmer. And the striker is Calvert-Lewin. Not a bad team. I wonder how that team would do in the Premier League, or even in this competition. Would they have got as far as England? At the time of recording, we're 2 days away from playing Argentina in the semi-final. I'm pretty confident this team would have made it out the group and probably won all the games up until this point. So let's move over to the actual England 11, the best 11 they've got out there, in my opinion. So Pickford in goal. Reece James at right back, Mark Gay and Konza the centre backs, O'Reilly on the left, Declan Rice will be the holding midfielder. Saka on the right wing. Gordon on the left. Bellingham and Anderson in the middle, with Harry Kane up front. So now we're going to compare position versus position to see if there's any swaps that we'd make at this point. Okay, so we're going to do a score system where if the reject's better than the current player, in my opinion, they're going to be a point for the rejects. And if Tuchel picked the right player and the reject isn't as good, then Tuchel's team's going to get a point. So let's take a look at the two teams up against each other. So start with the goalkeepers, Nick Pope and Jordan Pickford. Well, I have to concede that one. Jordan Pickford is a better keeper. He's a couple of years younger than Pope as well. So there's no chance that Pope's really going to ever beat him to that spot. So that's 1-0 to Tuchel's team. Next, we move on to the right back position. Now, this is a tough one. Reece James and Alexander-Arnold, because I think Reece James is a hell of a player. But is he as good as Alexander-Arnold? I don't think so. He's really good. I do really rate the guy, but he's not as good as Alexander-Arnold. So that's going to be 1 point for the rejects. Flick straight over to left back. Lewis Hall and O'Reilly. This is a close one. O'Reilly going forward's definitely better, but defensively, is he better than Lewis Hall? I'm not sure. And what do you want a left back to do? You want a left back to defend. So based on what their job role is, I'm going to call this one a tie. So it's a point each on that one. Moving on to the centre backs, we'll go Levi Colwill on the rejects and Mark Gay, who Thomas Tuchel picked. Well, I've got to concede that one. Gay, I think, is a better player than Colwill. Certainly defensively. So yeah, that's a point for Tuchel's team. Harry Maguire and Konza, again, close, but I'm still going to go with Harry Maguire. He pops up with goals, important goals for Man United all the time. We could have definitely done with him from some set pieces in this World Cup. So that's a point for the rejects. I'm going to give Harry Maguire over Konza. Holding midfielder, rejects is Wharton and Tuchel's team is Rice. I know I said I'm a real big fan of Wharton, but he's not better than Rice. So that's a point for Tuchel's team. And moving on to the right wing, Saka versus Jared Bowen. I already told you I'm not keen on Jared Bowen anyway, and I think Saka's amazing. So that's another point for Tuchel's team. On the left, Gordon and Foden. I know it's not Foden's natural position, but we're talking about ability as a player. Foden's way ahead of Gordon. But he's not a natural left winger. So based on that, I'm going to call that one a tie. That's a point each. Looking in the centre of midfield, Bellingham and Cole Palmer. Bellingham is better than Cole Palmer, but Cole Palmer's a hell of a player. And he could easily slot in there if Bellingham was injured or whatever. He could definitely play that role. But that is a point for Tuchel's team because he is better than Cole Palmer. Anderson and Gibbs-White, they played together at Nottingham Forest. They're not exactly a match in position. Rate them both highly, but I'm going to call that one a draw. That's a point each because you can't really pick between them. They're not really playing the same position. And then we come to the strikers, Kane versus Calvert-Lewin. That's not even really a question. Just look at the stats. Harry Kane. So that's a point for Tuchel's team. So let's check the final score. So in summary, yeah, Tuchel's team won, but there's definitely some question marks on some positions, and I definitely think we could have got a better starting 11 out there than the one he's taken. I'm going to leave my personal 11. I'll come up at the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, remember to subscribe, and if you disagree with anything I say, which I'm sure you will, please put it in the comments. Thanks.